Hello, in my presentation I'm going to be talking about Fairuz, an iconic Lebanese singer. This is what she looked like during her prime, and this is what she currently looks like right now. So her real name is Nuhad Wadi Haddad, and the name Fairuz was given to her by the person who discovered her, and Fairuz means turquoise, and he gave her this name because he thought she was as rare as a emerald. She was born November 21, 1934 in Jabal al-Arz, Lebanon. Her introduction to music was just being in a school choir at a very young age, and she was discovered in a choir at a local Lebanese radio station by the head of the radio station, and his name is Halim al-Ruhi, and he is credited with discovering her and introducing her to people who could help her with music. Her main collaborators were the Rahbani brothers, Asi and Mansour, and they were her primary composers throughout her entire career. While she is Arab and Lebanese, it is important to note that she is ethnically Assyrian and a Christian Maronite. And this is her first hit, which she released when she was 18. It's called Itab, and it was released in 1952. So she created a unique mix of Arabic folk music, pop music, patriotic music, and just traditional Arabic music. She was a breath of fresh air at the time, as a lot of Arabic music was really, really long and had lots of instrumentals. It wasn't really focused on the vocals, while she was known for her vocals. And she did have really good instrumentals, but the main focus of the song was her voice. She has over 80 albums, and a lot of them are live recordings, but it's still a very, very big number. Her most significant concert venues are Carnegie Hall, Royal Albert Hall, and Olympia in Paris. So some interesting facts about her is that she almost took Madonna to court, and instead she settled out of court for $2.5 million because Madonna sampled her music in her 1993 single Erotica without her permission. And because she is so loved by the Middle East, especially her home country Lebanon, that entire album, not just the song, the entire album is banned in Lebanon. And another interesting fact is that Beyonce is a fan of Fairuz. She took inspiration from Arabic scales and Fairuz's voice.
Is there anyone in mind that you listen to?
I listen to Fairuz a lot. I love actually stayed up all night, and I didn't know anyone's names. And I'm really mad because I wish I did, because I want to get their records, but their names never came on television. It was this woman. She was such a diva, and the things she could do with her voice. Y'all have the most incredible singers in the world, and I'm not just saying that. The things y'all can do with y'all's voices are just amazing, and the melodies are amazing. I just can't even believe it because everybody can sing.
So her greatest impact was in Lebanon, which is the national impact, during the Lebanese Civil War, as that was when she was really, really popular and she gained a lot of love from the Lebanese people. She became a symbol of unity, and she brought different factions together through her songs. And a big way that she did this was she always maintained a neutral and non-political stance, and her songs were always just about loving the country and loving the people and talking about the landscapes and just the culture in her music. Her music and her concerts gave people a lot of hope amid the violence of the war, and it also gave them not a good sense of normalcy, but a sense of normalcy. Her music helped preserve Lebanese cultural heritage, which is threatened by the conflict, by any conflict really, especially at the time. There wasn't a lot of focus on preserving music. And her most patriotic song, which was crazy at the time, was بحبك يا لبنان, which in English just means I love you, Lebanon. And she didn't only have impact in the Middle East, not only in Lebanon, but across the entire Middle East and everywhere surrounding it. to global impact. She's a cultural icon and is a staple in every Arab household. She united all different sects of Christianity, all different sects of Islam, and all different ethnicities. And while she's Lebanese, and yes, she is Assyrian, all ethnicities and all nationalities across the Middle East listen to her. Persians, Shamis, Khalijis, everybody listened to her no matter what. I've never heard of a country or a people in the Middle East not listening to her music. She played a significant role in promoting a positive image of the Middle East, and she greatly represented Arab culture on an international scale. She addressed social and political issues reflecting the struggles of the Arab people, and during the Lebanese Civil War, she maintained a non-political, neutral stance, but when it came to human rights violations and things like that, she would always speak up no matter what. And yes, she's Lebanese, but she wrote a song an example of this is that she wrote a song for the Palestinian people in 1967, highlighting her connection to the entire Middle East, not just Lebanon, and the song was talking about Jerusalem after the Six-Day War in 1967. And to show how significant of a figure she was in the Middle East, some background information is before COVID, Lebanon used to be colonized by France, and there are some areas in Lebanon which only speak French, some areas that only speak Arabic, but majority of the country speaks a mix of French and Arabic. And they're not colonized anymore, but during COVID, due to lack of regulations, there was a big explosion for some chemicals at the Beirut harbor, which was a big harbor in the Middle East, and it was the capital. Beirut is the capital of Lebanon, and a lot of people passed away. And the Lebanese government was kind of shifting blame. They weren't really taking any action. So France stepped in and provided a lot of aid and a lot of resources. And when the French president, Emmanuel Macron, came to Lebanon, when he landed, he did not meet with any political leader. He only met with Fairuz to show the Lebanese people why he was there and how he didn't respect the Lebanese government, which was a big statement. And this is her biggest song. It's called Nasam Alayna al-Hawa, which just means a breeze brushed against us, and it's supposed to be a kind of longing to go back home. This is her second biggest song. It's called Kunna Nitlaqa, and it is a contribution to her husband who got really, really sick at the peak of his career. And it's just about missing the years of their youth and wanting to go back to health. And an interesting fact about this song is that when it first came out, during her first performance, she received a standing ovation for 10 minutes. ويهرب فينا الغيم الحزين Thank you so much for listening to this presentation. I highly recommend listening to Fairuz or just checking out her music. as it is hard to get a full grasp of what her music is like from a couple clips, because her music had a lot of depth to it, and there are a lot of different instrumentals, a lot of changes in the music, and I just highly recommend checking her out. And thank you so much for listening.